Okay, look, I get it. Pad Thai is everywhere, and it's mild enough and inoffensive enough to be delicious to the masses, I suppose. YouTubers discovering Bangkok for the very first time are going to feature a video of them consuming this stuff from time to time. To me, though, Pad Thai is to Thai food what blue fragrances are to colognes and perfumes. For those of you not familiar with perfume lingo, a blue fragrance is normally a citrus or ginger-based fragrance with just enough spicy elements to make it smell interesting for consumption. Some of the most famous blue fragrances are CK1, Dior Sauvage, or Chanel Blue. Fragrances you spray on, and they won't offend folks, but they are generally thought of as, pleasant, if not exactly bold. To me, that's Pad Thai. Remember those colognes back in the day? I mean, they're quite, pleasant colognes, but they don't exactly stand out, but they're pleasant colognes. They had to stand out through their advertisements. Dior Sauvage, one of the newest fragrances, had these really sleek adverts that looked really cool. I mean, the commercials did have to look and sound nice because these colognes were so subtle that they could be forgettable to much of the general public. Chanel Blue, by far the most popular of the blue fragrances, or the most well-known, had created an entire series of short films. All-out short films, James Bond style, that sell a rather, what I consider to be tame fragrance, despite how cool their adverts looked. And CK1 had to promote their fragrance through whatever the hell this is. Don't get me wrong, CK1's cool, I like it, but, they had to do this to sell it. Okay, I'm going to stop before I walk us through this olfactory corn maze of nonsense and get back on track. So, Pad Thai, phooey! Today we're going to kick it up a notch and make a stir-fried noodle dish called Pad Prik Pao in Thai. I'll be using mung bean glass noodles called Wun Sen, so I'll be making Pad Prik Pao Wun Sen Sai Gai today. It's a dish that is more bold than Pad Thai without being too spicy for your average Western palate. Normally, Pad Prik Pao isn't much spicier than, say, a Mexican enchilada, so it's harmless to most folks, but far more delicious in my opinion than your average Pad Thai. The ingredients are simple. Note, I'm using tomatoes and bok choy here because I needed to use them before they went bad in my fridge, but you can use any vegetables that you would normally use in your stir fry. So I'm using cherry tomatoes halved, I'm using bok choy, a clove of garlic or half clove of garlic, minced. Additionally, fresh red chilies. You can omit the chilies altogether if you don't want them spicy. I like things hot and spicy, so I always add chilies. I add chilies to almost everything. Okay, so the other ingredients I've presented to you this way, but in reality, the Pad Prik Pao sauce and the other sauce I add into the little bowl of sauce that you see there. The ingredients are as follows. 2 tablespoons of chili paste known as Nam Prik Pao. The brand that I'm using here is called Ma Pranom, and it's the most common brand in Thailand, and it's probably going to be the most available brand in the US. 1 teaspoon of soy sauce. Light soy sauce is preferred, but dark soy sauce is okay. A half a tablespoon of white vinegar, 1.5 tablespoons of oyster sauce, and a teaspoon of fish sauce. Now, like I said, I put them in a bowl, a sauce bowl, and I mix them all together. The common noodle variant in street food or local restaurants is going to be mama noodles, and that's what I consider to be the most tasty of the Pad Prik Pao stir fries. Mama noodles is basically your wheat-based ramen noodle that you see in the grocery stores in the US or the UK. You know those packets that were probably like 9 cents in the day, and they probably cost like 40 or 50 cents now per packet? If you choose mama noodles, boil the noodle first, then drain it and set the noodles aside to cool down a bit as you prep the rest of the ingredients. However, today I'm using mung bean noodles. Thais call this Wun Sen, and mung bean noodles are lower in calories than rice noodles or mama noodles. Unlike ramen noodles, mung bean noodles are gluten-free. The downside is they have less dietary fiber than your mama or ramen noodles, but honestly, I get my fiber from veggies primarily. I mean, if I'm looking for ramen noodles to get my fiber, then something's seriously wrong. Soak your mung bean noodles for about 20 minutes. By the way, mung bean noodles are called glass noodles, often in grocery stores. especially in the West. Lastly, you can add about a teaspoon of sugar, palm sugar preferred, to your sauce. I don't add sugar to my recipe because I find that oyster sauce is already sweet enough. The sugar actually brings out the flavors in the Pad Prik Pao sauce. I just don't add it myself because in general, I just don't. It's already sweet enough because of the oyster sauce. For your protein source, you can add tofu or any meat of choice, or no meat at all. You can just put in mushrooms or whatever. It doesn't really matter. I'm adding chicken since I need to use up the rest of the chicken in the fridge before it starts going bad. Now, slice your chicken or your pork or whatever your protein source is into thin slices to make the stir-frying process easier and quicker. It's also easier to handle with a fork or chopsticks when you're eating it. In a saucepan set to medium heat, add your garlic first. Stir for only about a minute or two. Don't let it burn or brown. A lot of your higher-end chefs who do Asian food from time to time, you know, your famous chefs and whatnot, when they cook Asian food, they will often add the garlic later on in the process. This is a no-no in Asian cooking. There is an infusion of aroma and flavor that the garlic gives during the cooking process. If you add it first to the oil, it flavors the oil, it adds this wonderful scent. It's a very necessary process in Asian cooking that you put the garlic in there and you get that infusion. Also, they cook it in really hot woks and they cook quickly, so it's okay to add the garlic first because it's not going to burn. Next, I add the protein and I cook it just long enough for the outside to cook. Then I add the veggies. Again, today I'm using cherry tomatoes split and bok choys, but you can use any traditional veggies like traditional Thai veggies or your veggies of choice when you're doing stir fries. If you end up with too much liquid, which often happens, drain the liquid. You don't want to have it be too wet and too soggy because you're going to add more liquid to it in a few minutes. Okay, with your stir fry drained out now and a little bit drier, it's easier to stir fry and ready for the sauces to be added. Remember, I combine the fish sauce, oyster sauce, soy sauce, white vinegar, and other sauces together. Add half of the sauce bowl and continue stir frying. This should only take about 2 to 3 minutes of frying before the next step. Scoop your ingredients to the side as best you can, and it can be really frustrating. It is for me. Scoot it to the side and add your eggs. Stir the eggs to your liking. Try to ensure that the eggs are somewhat scrambled and a little bit firm enough. And you want to make sure that the eggs are firm enough so that you get little chunks inside your noodles when you are adding the noodles. You don't really want the egg to just bind with the noodles and create soggy noodles, in other words. Then add your mung bean noodles. They may not be completely softened, but it's okay. They quickly soften during the cooking process with the juices and all that added. Once you put the mung bean noodles in and you've done a quick stir fry, add the rest of your sauce, the other half, and stir fry it for maybe about 1 to 3 minutes, depending. And then you're done. Pad Prik Pao is a great stir-fried noodle dish that is a step up from pad thai noodles, but it's not as spicy and fiery as, say, pad ki mao stir fry. In the future, I will attempt pad ki mao. I cook it okay, but I prefer restaurants' versions to it in contrast to my version. You know, normally once I focus on a dish, I cook it and I cook it until I prefer my version. I have not yet reached that level with pad ki mao. Hopefully, in the near future, I'll prefer mine. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Once again, I love you, I appreciate you, and I wish you all the best in life. I'm going to leave you with the words of one of America's greatest authors, Nathaniel Hawthorne. Happiness is a butterfly which, when pursued, is always beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you. Take care. See you next time.